Hello, welcome everybody to the Web3 Business Podcast. My name is Rob, and I have with me today Jeff from the Montage Project. Hello, Jeff. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rob.
Thank you for being here. Let's jump right into it. Can you maybe give a quick introduction about yourself and the project?
Myself, I'm just an. To be honest with you, I was an average everyday investor. I got a business background, and I'm a retired Navy officer out of the United States of America. So I have a business background, contracting, things like that. But I'm an investor, and at the end of the day, I'm a dad first. So I'm a single father of three kids. So I looked into the crypto industry as an offshoot of the centralized industry from stock investing. So got into Montage. I don't want to say by happenstance, but more by choice, to be perfectly honest with you, after coming in 2021 into the crypto space and then following the logical progression of crypto as it had a really big year there in 2021. So got into a few projects, saw the wrongs of crypto, and decided we wanted to come together as we met through the internet, the Web3, and decided we wanted to solve some problems. So that's why we created Montage. I met each and every one of them on a previous project. There was a project that was a meme coin that was out there. It was kind of struggling. We were in there. We offered some of our background leadership advice. One of our members is a strategic business consultant, and my background is finance, contracting, business relations, chief operations officer, things like that. And we had some people that were actually in different backgrounds in business that helped bring that particular project from under $100,000 market cap to over $35 million market cap. And but being in a meme token area, we were seeing some of the things that we had each brought from our own backgrounds as investors in crypto, and wanted to solve the problems and create something that actually fixes some of the issues of cryptocurrency. So that's how we kind of came together.
That's amazing. Okay, so from the meme coin back, how did you guys grow it from 100K to 35 million?
With the meme coin, it's about crypto or investing in general is about two things. It's about holders and volume. The more holders you have, the more buys and sells, the more interest that is generated in your project. In the meme world, it's the hype of the day. What is happening? 2021, everything was an Inu. You had Shiba Inu that launched, and everything became an Inu following that. So they tried to build upon the hype and credibility of a base laying project. So, like Shiba Inu in 2021. In 2023, Pepe was the big thing. And where did Pepe come from? So you dig into where did it come from? How did it get developed? And so on. And then people started piggybacking off of that. Well, one of those memes that came into existence is where we met. And that's, it was all about popularity. But the big thing that's missing is utility. And there's so many rug pulls out there that, that project still exists. It still has a big community, I'll say that. And it's a good project. But to get over the hump, you have to be the best of everybody within your category. And, we just decided we wanted to fix some of those issues. So we shifted over from there to there. So it was a more of a... how did we get there? It was pure hype, being on the internet all the time, talking on Twitter or X, getting in a TG Discord, building an audience, reaching out and connecting with business professionals and people who wanted to invest and make a certain amount of money. So that's kind of how you grow it. And then after that, the hype goes a different direction, and then the market cap comes down, and we are where we are. We decided to fix that. So, well, the first one, anybody who's been in crypto for a minute has been involved in some kind of rug pull, or you've been involved in a long rug pull where the dev team will string everybody along in the community, and then they get to the point where all of a sudden you see that big downward red candle, and then what's just happened is your developers on an unrenounced contract, you're pulling liquidity and getting ready to run. And it's unfortunate that those kinds of things go blind to new people who are looking for ways to make their future. In some cases, maybe their rent, maybe take care of their child and stuff like that. And they see the big run of 2021 and they say, I can do this too. But when a rug pull comes along, it's tough to watch some money go along. And so that was the first one, of what's going wrong, what could go wrong in crypto. The other one is if you, again, I talked earlier a little bit about knowing a little bit about the history of it. You gotta, when somebody's coming in, the first two questions they ask is, how do I get in? How do I get out? If I'm an investor or if I'm somebody who has kind of a hope, how do I get in? And in 2021, when I actually came into crypto to try to explain how to get into crypto, you just take your money, connect your bank account, you connect it to a centralized exchange. From there, that you got to go into a holding pattern, and then you got to decide which crypto you want. Then you swap the money you put in, and you tie it to Uniswap or Pancake Swap or Sushi Swap, and you try to explain to people this big, huge, lengthy process on how to get into DeFi. It's not easy, and if you've been in for a minute, you figure it out, and it gets a little easier. But we're sitting on 6% of the global population that is in cryptocurrency or knows anything about it other than Bitcoin. And now that the spot Bitcoin ETFs have been approved, the 10 or 11 that got approved, people are starting to look towards that digital monetization, and they want to know how to get in. And we wanted to make an easy way to get in directly into DeFi. And then on the back end, we wanted to help people get out. So those are two of the problems that we're solving. That's not all of them, but that's two that we're definitely solving that makes it easier for somebody to bring in themselves into a project and see its worth, and then draw any money out if they made any money on the back end.
Well, what is the utility of the Montage token? What are the tokenomics? How do you ensure buying pressure? How do these things work?
So, a good question, and the big thing about Montage Token, tokenomics, well, let's not talk about tokenomics just yet. Let's do the portion where, first and foremost, you have to look at who is Montage Token. We're a safe and secure method to get into crypto, to get out of crypto, to watch your potential investment grow or your holdings grow, if you will, into something that you're hoping to get there. So the utility of, if you look at our white paper and you get the chance to go to montagetoken.io, our white paper lines out a really beautiful roadmap, to be perfectly honest. We pride ourselves on being safe and secure. Our little mantra is crypto with confidence. There's not going to be any difficulty as the project grows. We decided that from there we wanted to have viability, not just within the crypto realm of DeFi, but we wanted to be able to give back to communities and things like that. So we created the Montage Foundation. And one of the things we talked about very early was in most of your projects that come along like us, they've started as a meme coin and then they became a utility token, because they found some viability or some niche that they wanted to cover. We came in as a utility token, and we decided right up front that we wanted to develop the Montage Foundation to help true people in need around the world, whether that's agencies, individual persons, somebody who has a major surgery around the world, or whatever, bringing people together into a place that they can know that there's a foundation out there that can provide. Then we had a brainstorm, and we said, the Montage Incubator on our roadmap is a place where ideas are generated, and we're currently working on that right now. And we had some brainstorms on utility, and one of the things we found out when we were with that meme token is if you want to get listed on an exchange, there's a few things that we found out that are more difficult than people coming into crypto think. And the first one is, okay, I'm going to go out and get listed on, say, Binance. Well, how much does it cost to list on Binance? If you look it up, it says it's a free listing, but there's so much more to it that you end up getting a market maker, you end up providing liquidity, you have to provide different fees and so on and so forth. And it can be upwards of $1 million to get listed on a major exchange. Most of them are about 100,000 to 200,000 once you get all the bells and whistles and what you're going to do. Who can afford that as an actual new token? So what we decided in the incubator was we would create a path for somebody to come in, create a project, whether that's a meme token, a utility token, or even a cross-border payment system, and have everything audited and everything ready, all the points of contacts that they would need to get their project started in the incubator. And just like off the shelf, you'd pick something off the shelf, you'd put it in your basket at a small cost, and you'd be able to confidently walk away from our incubator knowing that the project that you're getting ready to develop has already been audited, it's been vetted, and so on. And then you obviously had your dot your I's and cross your T's. That also ran us to the how expensive it is to get into an exchange listing and things like that. So, we're going to develop our decentralized exchange. We're already in contact with parties and potential partners to get us a low price exchange where you create that project coming out of the incubator, and then you end up going to your very first listing on Montage decentralized exchange for a low price. I don't want to put a price on it, but let's say $5,000, where it costs you $2,500 in liquidity, $2,000 in a listing fee, and maybe $500 burns off Montage, which allows us to be a depreciating asset. And we also have the blockchain, which we're digging into as well. We think we're going to go layer 0 blockchain. But right now, our first utility we're getting ready to put out is our wallet, the Montage wallet. And there's a lot of wallets out there, I'm not going to lie. But we're going to start with, we already have partnered with somebody, and we're going to have an on-ramp from CeFi to DeFi directly in. We're going to have an off-ramp that's tied to a debit card process, MasterCard or Visa, in that range. And then there is a partnership that's in the middle I can't quite talk about yet, that has never been done in DeFi at this point, where you, and I can give a little bit about it, but where you can come in and you can pick and choose like 5 different projects that you'd like to buy. Let's say you wanted to bring $1,000 in and buy some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some Montage, some Cardano, etc. Put them all together. It divides it up and creates you a diversified portfolio that people can get into and learn how to be diversified and not be at the mercy of a single token that has to ride volatility up 80%, down 90%, that kind of scenario until the next bull run. So those are some things we're working on. Those are some things that we go to the incubator, we throw something in there and we say, let's chew on this a little while. So those are our immediate utilities. We're also looking in the spatial platform where we can utilize different, like if somebody's walking around with their cell phone and then they have our app on there, they can provide data directly through Web3 technology, spatial recognition of processes where they are, and things like that. So we're diving a little deeper in that with a team, but that's where we're at right now.
Okay, that's amazing. About the kind of the on-ramp, off-ramp, right? So I'm sure that's somehow connected to your wallet development as well. Mm-hmm. Are there any developments in terms of the on-ramp, off-ramp for what you're mentioning, MasterCard, Visa? I know that I've read in the media that there are some new kind of APIs and stuff that will ensure easier process. Is that something you guys utilize as well?
That's a very good question, Rob. So whether it's layer 0 or layer 1, and we're just kind of looking across the board, there's only 6 major layer 0s out there right now. And when people build a blockchain upon a blockchain, you're utilizing the underlying asset, and the underlying asset of a layer 0 blockchain, from our perspective and from what we've researched and what we're looking into, is the ability to solve all 3 aspects of the blockchain trilemma. And there's only a couple of companies that have been able to actually do that. All three: security, I always have moments where I'm like, which one of the triangle are they? But decentralization, scalability and security. So crypto gets a bad name. And the funny thing is you see what's going on in all the talks in Congress and things like that. You have opposing views from Senator A to Senator B in cryptocurrency. But if you look at the bigger picture and you look at all the fraud as a whole that goes on in fiat currency as compared to cryptocurrency, you'll find out that it's very minuscule, the amount of fraud that actually happens in crypto compared to fiat currency. And my best is 2020, and then 2021, 2022, and 2023. Chainalysis did an analysis of the entire fraud picture of cryptocurrency as compared to fiat currency, and it blew people's minds. $97 trillion of 2020 global domestic product, GDP, was that was the total GDP of that year, and out of that, $2.79 trillion happened in fraud, whether that's money laundering, ATM scams, people getting scammed on the internet, cryptocurrency, attacks on cross bridges and things like that. So, but out of that $2.79 trillion worth of fraud, only 0.15% came from cryptocurrency. And when you got that kind of data and you can control the security aspect at a layer zero, I think that does wonders for everybody who comes in and builds upon your platform. And that's kind of the reason that we decided to look into layer zero, vice layer one, layer two, layer three. Now, whether we end up layer one or not, cost associated, partnership associated, things like that. But layer zero is kind of where we're headed.
So yes. Where's everybody from, basically?
Yeah. I'm actually in the United States. First and foremost, we're all doxed. You know who we are. We're a very clear project. We want to be very open and apparent to everybody. There's nothing to hide here. So I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, actually, and I did a big project from here while I was with St. Thomas, the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta here. I helped set them up with a balloon and a million person throughput through their project here to gain visibility, if you will, of crypto at the time. So I'm here, never left. We have our chairman is Midnight Phoenix. He's down in Australia, of all places, and he's a wonderful business professional. And from the other project, we got to talking about, let's think about something we can do. We have somebody, Angry Mechanic, I think he's up in Washington, and JB's in Florida, and Jax is in Texas. But those are the places we are predominantly right now. We're trying to grow a ambassadorship across the world as part of our project. And what that is people who represent us because they believe in the project, not just because they see it and throw a few dollars in it and win Lambo. But people that we have ambassadors across the globe of some sort that lobby within specific continents and countries that believe in our project, and we want to continue to grow that organically and holistically. Those who've been in crypto long enough know that if you get into a space and you see somebody you recognize over and over and over and over again, and then you get to know them and they're like, I'm in Madagascar or something like that, wow, well, there's an area of the world that has representation. How do we grow that at that area and create a wave pushing it away from there, if you will? Right now, I'm kind of looking at the Pacific Rim. Thailand, Hong Kong, Singapore, those kinds of things that are on the other side of the Pacific that are bow waving across the United States and other countries, Europe and so on, because the interest is being generated there. So you focus your resources where it's the hottest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things happening in Southeast Asia for sure. Big population, big interest as well.
India.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, for sure. Um, so final questions. As you know, we are the Web3 business podcast, so it's broader than blockchain. We're also considering, you know, AI and metaverse, for example. One question that came up from our community is regarding the Sora launch. Do you? What are your thoughts about that? Do you have anything like? What are your thoughts about the launch of Sora as a product?
Actually, as a product, I'm not as familiar with that one, to be perfectly honest with you. But I will say this because this is a Web3 type of thing. You know, Web3 came into existence to allow decentralized finance, cryptocurrency, and the next generation of internet to exist. People laughed at that, you know, just like my Elon Musk story, if you will. You know, Tesla had a 10-year run where all he was trying to do was get investors and teach them about the electric vehicle and so on and so forth. And he went to, you know, Dodge and Ford and Chrysler and Buick and all these different things to help grow at the time. And the market share was just very much like this. It was straight across for the longest time till 2019, 2020, when it shot up to $770 a share. And the funny thing is everybody laughed. And that's where Web3 kind of the same thing. Well, we already have the internet. Well, but do we have the ability to take AI and take you know, next generation things forward? Well, that's what Web3 allows you to do. So, you know, everybody who laughed at Elon for his idea of the electric car back then has an electric car. You know, every company. So Web3 is the way. DeFi is definitely the way. You see governments tying in and finding ways to connect with something that if you can't beat them, you're going to join them and find a way to be a part of it. And that's where Web3 comes to play in my mind. So I hope I answered at least some of what your question was.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for this podcast. Hope to have you on another time as well. And thanks everybody for watching and listening. And see you next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.